We're on the road to the top of Mount Graham here on Greenlee County. We're about 10 or so miles south of Safford, Arizona. And up here is the famous Lucifer telescope that the Catholic Church owns. And this is kind of on my bucket list to always come up here. I've been by here several times on the way to other places, but never drove into Mount Graham here. About 3 hours from Scottsdale, Arizona is what it took to drive here. And here you can see some of the burned out areas they were talking about on the road. On the warnings, when it floods in these burned out areas, these roads get really wiped out. And there's the top of Mount Graham up there. 11,500 feet or so elevation at the top up here. I'll just give you some idea what the ride is like up to here, up to the top. Now there's lots of camping, several little small lakes you can only use electric motors on or row. Elevation here. We're at 5,000 foot elevation now. Like I said, it gets around 11.8 or something like that. I looked up on the computer last night. So it's getting really bad in here, so I have to put the camera down here in a second. So for the opening round, as always, God bless and enjoy. Okay, here we are in the switchbacks again. Moon Creek Picnic Ground. About 30 miles to the top from the road between Safford and Wilcox, Arizona. Was it Rex Allen from Wilcox, Arizona? And then the first woman Supreme Court Justice, trying to think of her name, raised on a cattle ranch north of Wilcox. She's since retired. I can't remember her name. Famous here in Arizona. I've spent a night in Wilcox before. I did my Aravaipa Canyon video years back. Really dry back here. We are still in somewhat of a drought. One hell of a little switchback there. Another one right here. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera down for a while. Now we're getting into the pine country here. And we're at 6,000 foot elevation. Just up and up and up and up. So up and up, it's first and second gear in the car here. Oh, that glare is going to get me. Yeah, we better stop now. The glare is going to wipe out the good photography. Well, this is as high as you can get up here at this location. Damn, I thought you could get all the way up. The road stops. We're about at 10,000 foot elevation. I'll show you this little turnaround spot here. Then we'll start heading back down. There's some incredible views of the flat earth, so we'll stop and make a few of them. Enjoy. Here's a view off to the south. That'd be down towards Mexico, I guess. So much better views as we get down the road. I just want to show you this where we're near the top here. Up in the pines. Like I said, around 10,000 foot elevation up in here. Little idea where I'm at. Here's a sweeping view looking south towards Mexico and Wilcox. Incredible. Not sure what all the pollution's about. It's kind of upsetting. I drove all this way and everything would be this polluted, but you can see it in the air down here. A little quick view of where I'm at. See if the glare is not as bad now going back down here and the sun being to my back. I learned my lessons recording the Apache crown dancers were to keep the sunlight. And man, there is nobody up here. I've only seen 2 other vehicles. Of course, this part of the state is really kind of isolated. I don't think Sassford has. Mainly a Mormon community and King Cotton again, like Eloy. Maybe 6,000 or 7,000 feet. I mean 6,000 or 7,000 population. Then you would have the non-Mormon town, a typical Mormons. Thatcher right next to it. Yeah, just nobody up here, just kind of eerie in fact. Can't imagine the amount of people be on South Mountain today in Phoenix. Maybe thousands. There's just really nobody out here. That's kind of why I wanted to come out here and do this, so I could get this off my bucket list to see what this mountain's about. But typical Arizona mountain. Lots of fires. Start to wonder if they're just letting the shit happen or not anymore, you know. With the Agenda 21 and everything. Like all the California fires, and they make restrictions so bad the poor people can't come back in and rebuild because of all the new codes they've installed. Now we're looking back now to towards New Mexico. And we'll get down in here and we'll stop and take some good videos. So enjoy. Yeah, now we're on the New Mexico side of the mountain. Shady area, 61 degrees. And we're still probably at 9,000 foot elevation. I can pretty much coast all the way down to the valley floor there by Safford now. Yeah, just almost eerie being back in here by myself. Since I got past the campgrounds, I have seen absolutely nobody. Yeah, Aravaipa Canyon be just due south of here about 50 miles. I mean, the Chiricahuas, and Aravaipa Canyon is just about 20 miles or 30 miles due west of here. And took a kid with me to go look for, going prospecting for fire agate, hoping I could find a vein of fire agate back in by Aravaipa Canyon. We did find some great fire agate, but we never did find a vein. But we heard this hell of a sound, and we looked around and back toward Mount Graham here, because we were south of Mount Graham, and we saw this silver disc shooting across the backside of Mount Graham here, and we could hear, like I said, we heard it before we saw it, and it darted right into Aravaipa Canyon. Kind of interesting, because Aravaipa Canyon was one of Cochise's haunts back in there, running water year-round. Kid I was with scared the hell out of him, and he was a mess the whole weekend after that. He was not ready for that at all. And by then I'd had several sightings. First one scared me to death, I'll say that. It was a cigar-shaped craft. Then I started seeing several more after that. But it just really affected this kid, and sent him out for firewood, and I looked out and I saw his head. I says, "You got to get out of the campsite, bud. You're never going to find any firewood out here." He says, "If I can't see you, I'm not going." So why he thought I could protect him from whatever it was we saw, kind of interesting. Of course, there's so damn many stories about me anyway, and that's why the kid wanted to go with me. He heard so many stories about me. He said he wanted to go camping with me. I'd never taken him with me. I'm pretty much a loner. Well, I've heard so many stories about you, I want to go with you somewhere. So I took him with me up there, and what I was hoping to do is I would find a vein, make a claim, and then just work it so much a year, and it'd kind of be my summer home. Although it's not that high elevation, just a beautiful canyon back in there. I'll have to go make a video back in there one of these days also. But here we are, we're going through all these switchbacks and lowering ourselves out of here. And that you can see way back in the background, probably New Mexico. And I'll look for myself someplace to pull over and eat here. So you got a good idea what Mount Graham looks like and you're traveling it. Lonely. You don't like being alone out here and having trouble. I wouldn't suggest during the week. Hell, it's a holiday and nobody's up here. So, as always, God bless and enjoy from Mount Graham.